field is impeccable.
Oh,
the field here at
the
Rhodes
field
Field
here at Penn, we've talked about it so many times. A training facility for visiting MLS. And as you see, game time temperature 75 degrees, a little bit of a breeze. Chance of precipitation 2%. I don't know why that went in there. And from our meteorologist, Randall Firenator Miller, also does graphics from what I understand too. We are underway. Loyola with the ball. It's going to be interesting to see not only with the first game of the year. Now you have graduations, you have new players coming in, you have transfers coming in. We got a great story on that as we get along as well. As Penn's looking for, I thought they were asking for a handball, but nonetheless it's a throw-in. Loyola trying to work this right side. It'll work outside of 18.
Yeah, Dan, our number one storyline here now is the first appearance in 4 years of senior goalkeeper David Howard. Mm-hmm. But these are the things that legends are made out of.
Hey, you never know. And like I said, we don't know as far as to the why. We will see if we find out anything as the night goes on. But nonetheless, Howard's the man in the net right now. And the Quakers are the ones with the ball as they try to work their way up through the midfield.
Yeah, and you got to feel happy for this young man getting his chance. Being a backup goalkeeper is one of the hardest jobs in sports.
As you see the starting 11 for Loyola on your screen.
We know you were a goalkeeper, Dan, and I have to think you were backup.
Yeah, no, I was a backup, so I know exactly what it means. And then next thing you know, it could be as simple as a tap on the shoulder. You're in, as you see the Penn lineup on your screen as well. Familiar names, maybe some different numbers.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to poke the bear this early in the telecast.
But it's the truth. You know, I
was a backup keeper of many matches.
Many matches, but it also gives you a chance to study the opponent so that when that time does come in, you have an idea and the understanding.
Yeah.
And you learn from the other players on the pitch all at the same time. So,
it's just going to be a special night for Howard because his brother transferred in from Virginia.
Michael Howard is in the match, getting the start as well as you saw on your screen. Connor Dawson cuts in front, and just enough the ball goes out of bounds. It'll be a goal kick for the Quakers.
Yeah, and this is a Loyola team. You know, it comes from a great tradition of soccer. And this is their third game of the season. They're 3 games into the season. They've had a tough competition. Played last game against Syracuse. Coach Steve Nichols thought that they played very well against them, despite a 1-0 loss. Penn in their first match.
Nichols in his 12th season at the helm for Loyola Maryland. Working in for the Quakers right now. Sullivan to the middle. Michael Howard to the outside. Bending ball in, but a boot from the Greyhounds. Trying to be brought in by Sully. Dawson.
In the beginning, we might see a little bit of contrasting style. I mean, Loyola maybe looking to go direct a little bit more, looking to try to get in behind. Penn a more controlled possession type team.
Sullivan looked to cross one over. Nice header by the back line of the Greyhounds. A little contact here on the right side. George Herbert. Nice sliding tackle. Penn keeps the possession. Jack Ryan, Jeremiah. JR looks, thought about it. Not much there. Try to build a better piece. Shelton fighting his way through. Ball goes out of bounds, and it will favor the home side.
Yeah, and if we're talking about the elephant in the room here, we're talking about the losses. 5 big losses for
the Quakers, for graduation. As we take a look at this replay real quick. You said good work. Following through with it. Playing the whistle. Goes out of bounds. Bounce off the Rhodes Field pitch a little bit.
Penn lost seniors Charlie Gaffney, Aaron Messer, All-American Leo Barney at center back. Ben Doe, who's now playing at Indiana.
Mm-hmm. Ball inside. Free kick out to the right side. Sokolowski gives chase. And a trip. No, play on, says the referee. Oh, it was close. Michael Howard pleading his case. The referee not having any of it. Rob Komorowski is the man in the middle tonight. Take a look as we get ready for this throw-in. Comes in.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it.
Not seeing it. I mean, I understand the argument, but not seeing it as the ball comes in. Trying to get along the line, and it goes out of bounds, and it'll be a goal kick.
So, yeah, getting back to the losses in graduation, the biggest loss, at least in terms of statistics, Stas Korsnowski, who's now playing with the Philadelphia Union, too, and not only a prolific goal scorer, but what he could do, and he was playing, the center forward position, but he was a withdrawn, false nine, whatever you want to call it, a big frame back in the midfield that really helped Penn have a forward option, gave them the ability to break lines with their pass, meaning that they pass through the midfield right up to Stas, is a huge loss. And, Penn is going to have a lot of interchangeable parts.
Who's the next person up?
Yeah.
Who is the next man up to handle that role? And I think with the graduation of Korzanowski may open a door for other players to come through. The one thing that I'm really going to miss as far as the graduating seniors was Ben Doe, as far as how he was, and I know you as a coach and in my coaching days, he spread out the field. If there's real estate on one side of the field, he's in it, even if the ball's on the opposite end. Flag goes up, and it is offsides to come back the other way.
Yeah, you're right on the mark about that one, partner, because you and I were big Ben Doe fans. His ability to get forward from the left side, get to especially getting down to the byline and cutting balls back. Just not only a great player, great defender, and a fun guy to watch.
Yeah,
and a big loss.
he definitely
through
Ben
graduation.
Was definitely fun to watch as he worked all aspects of the field. This ball comes to right in front of us. Sullivan makes the turn. Sully looking up, not finding much of anything he liked. Jack Ryan, Jeremiah.
Yeah, so you can say Brian Gill's portfolio took a big hit, but I think he's still got some blue chippers.
You know what? I thought about that, but ball forward. Kayeli, but the ball just a little too much on it. Patty was given chase, but bounced into the awaiting gloves of Mr. Connor O'Keefe.
Well, I was kind of trying to make a little Dow Jones stock exchange.
The bell rang already.
Yeah. It was, the whole Wharton thing here. But no, Brian Gill's got a lot of great players back.
Here's forward again. Sakalowski can't get to it. O'Keefe smartly comes out and covers, and he'll dispatch it quickly to the near side. Lukes will play it.
No. When we talk about those guys, they're program players. Patrick Kayeli, Eric Sokolowski, Jack Ryan, Jeremiah, who we've talked about, George Herbert, all guys that that buy into the way that Penn wants to play. They play a good possession style. But these are guys that also do a lot of unselfish, unheralded running off the ball to try to keep the back four protected.
George Herbert, just made mention of him. Nice ball in waiting here. Sakalowski going to try to give it a go. Kayeli across the line. Great work by the back line of Loyola Maryland to get it out of the way. It'll be a corner kick for the Quakers. And a little bit of a crash into the post.
Yeah, this was a great counterattack here. Look, just a textbook diagonal run there. Not crazy about the way that O'Keefe came out for that ball. I think he could have come out with his hands straight forward to try to cover it. Big 6'6" frame.
I don't know. Part of me that as this ball comes in, gets headed away one. Second touch Penn. Back to the wing. Now to service far post header. Great gloves by Connor O'Keefe. Another cannon deflected. Ollie puts it in, comes right back out of bounds, be a throw in for Penn.
And so, Dan, we talk about David Howard getting his first minutes after being in the program for 4 years. Connor O'Keefe is a newcomer, too, essentially. This is only his third game in his collegiate career. He's a sophomore out of Utah via Shattuck Academy in MLS Next. Shattuck St. Mary's.
Inside, the touch, up and over, and I think that's the first one we've seen off the new indoor track and field facility. Looked like it have some nice give to it.
Yes.
When they were building it, speaking with some of the administrators here at Penn Athletics. How strong is the wall? Why? Because you know that net doesn't catch all of them.
Yeah, just an absolutely gorgeous facility here, overlooking the Philadelphia skyline.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you can't get any better. We'll see what we're saying in the latter part of October when it's cold, windy, rainy.
Children's Hospital, one of the great children's hospitals in the country, right behind us and right across from us.
As well as University of Pennsylvania Hospital. Also built a building the past couple of years, again, directly behind us. Whereas now we get a little more of the helicopter incoming action because their helipad is right on the other side of the tree line. In fact, it's literally right across the street. Round through midfield. Penn trying to poke one forward. Lukes. Not finding anything he likes, so he comes back to the middle. Exchanging with Curtis Wagner. Nice pick of the pocket. See if they can do something with it. Howard. Howard brings it inside. Goes out of bounds harmlessly to be a goal kick.
Yeah, and listen, despite the loss of Stas Korzynowski and you know the multitude of career goals that he had for the Quakers, Penn is still going to be a potent attacking team, and they're very organized as the opponents come out of the back. They keep their lines between defense and midfield very tight, and they're looking to pick the ball off somewhere in 30 or 40 yards away. And then, Dan, when you win that ball, you've got to counterattack quickly, and you've got to have players running behind the defense, and you have to have guys that can play the ball behind the defense.
Here's Penn working the wing. Sokolowski looks to the end line. Left foot, the touch. Not too far off the mark as it skims by the left side.
Yeah, and my fear now from the Loyola side is that they're allowing too many crosses, and they've got to do a better job of trying to block those crosses. It's such an underrated stat in our game today, but I think they've allowed 2 or 3 crosses into the box, and and Penn is not taking those deep crosses. They're taking balls entered into the final third from that interior channel, which is where most goals are scored from now.
Trying to get back something in the middle here. Cole McAvoy going for it, but Penn sends it back. Nice turn with some space. Inside the box, the chip, the shot, the block. Connor O'Keefe put down a 6'6" wall to deny the Quakers.
Yeah, Virginia's lost is Penn's gains. Michael Howard has shown some really good speed out there on the flank. It's been dangerous ever since the match has kicked off. It's a good start for his career with the Quakers.
Funny you hear the Penn bench. I guess they have to clarify, since you have 2 Howards on the field right now, which one you're talking to, because I hear, good job, Michael Howard, good job. That's like coming to a family gathering and just coming out and saying, hey, Fritz, and like 50 people turn around.
Your family.
Yeah, my family. That's actually happened. Trying to go through. Nice picket from Oliver Platt. Ollie with the good boot. This ball comes across. Throw in for Penn, wasting no time. Sokolowski.
And let me take this opportunity, Dan, to congratulate you on your first game
in
your
night.
17th season as the play-by-play man for the Penn Quaker soccer team. A beloved figure.
I don't know if it's 17 with the program, but it's 17 for Penn in and of itself. But thank you very much. I do appreciate it. Ooh, good chance in the middle here. Sully right in front of us, looking up.
And I wish our viewers could have gotten a glimpse of you holding court with the production crew before, telling jokes to the young guys, having them in stitches.
A little slip here. George Herbert.
Penn very good in defensive transition in their midfield.
So far in the early going, Penn's put up 5 shots. Although the stat sheet shows 2 saves for Connor O'Keefe, 2 good saves, as we had a foul against the Greyhounds.
It's somewhere 17 minutes into the match. Loyola haven't broken yet. It looks like they're just having a little bit of a hard time, just kind of gathering as to what their game model is and trying to, gather their thoughts as to how they want to play.
Left foot in, bending to the right side, comes down, bouncing around and up into the netting, and they call for the goal kick. The Penn bench calling for the corner. Brian Gill with a giggle. Matt Poplowski, vocal as always, both as in his playing time and now with being on the bench.
I had a chance yesterday to talk to Loyola coach Steve Nichols, a legendary figure in the Baltimore area. He's got that great Baltimore accent, Not quite as great as the Philly accent or
New York
or the Jersey accent that I've been cursed with. Steve, longtime coach at McDonough Prep School, coaching the Baltimore Bohemians, Loyola graduate.
Foul against Malachi Neal.
Keeping it all here in the family with his son Richie, graduate student, transfer from Maryland. Says he really likes this club. Last year was a bit of an aberration for them. Didn't like.
Trying to play through the middle. Coyelli.
Loyola bench griping to the referees, and I think they may have a fair point.
Yeah, the 4th official tonight, Mr. David Allen. He'll be the first one to hear about it. The assistant referees, Anthony Procopio and Yuri Siskin, all handling the matters here on the Rhodes Field pitch.
Yeah, it's such a high premium placed on in today's game, placed on the transition, especially transition from attack to defense. And Penn's been very good at that. Not only just chasing down the ball to try to win it back, putting pressure on the ball, but the transition to get back into defensive shape and be compact. And so, what the rule is now is let's try to get the ball back in 3 to 5 seconds. If we can't, let's make sure that we get our shape back, our defensive shape. And they've done a very good job. Signs of a well-coached Brian Gill team.
Good, crisp passing here in the first half as Penn works this near side. Sully doesn't find anything he likes, sends it back to David Howard. Howard gets it out to the right wing, and now Penn will try to press forward, but nobody in the middle. A little too much on it, and they'll reset.
Get up on my Malachi Neal. You're going to play that ball in behind. It can't be straight like that. It's got to be bent away from the left center back. That's too easy to get picked off or too easy for it to go over the top and go to the goalkeeper. Well, now, if you're a Loyola player out of the back and you look up and you see 10 organized bodies in behind the defense, it's just difficult to break down. I like the idea that they were trying to get balls in behind early.
And seeing what can develop from there.
Kind of like that. But when you hit that ball, you've got to overhit it.
Well, also we said it's a bit of a breeze. I don't know as far as on the field how much that'll be a factor for either team, but nonetheless, good crossing ball. But you can see it just kind of float a little bit with the wind as it goes down towards the flag and ultimately out of bounds. It will be a throw-in for the Quakers. Pratt will pick it up and bring it back in.
So for tactical standpoints for our viewers, Loyola playing out of a 3-5-2 formation. Penn in a kind of a hybrid 4-4-2, 4-2-3-1. But everything changes whether you have the ball, whether you don't. Because sometimes we get too caught up in the minutia of
the tactics. We? You and Rudy Fuller, I mean, and obviously so because it's within your nature. It's literally out of creature of habit. What kind of shape are they throwing? What kind of shape are they presenting? How do they adjust to it? That's what makes you and Rudy the best color commentators I've ever had the pleasure of working with.
Oh, you're going to make me blush here, partner.
All right, I'll put the shovel away and let's get back to
it. How great is it on a Labor Day weekend to be compared to the great Rudy Fuller?
Now, even though I can't speak as far as the time in your coaching time, but when Rudy Fuller was coaching this team and I was doing the announcing, let's just say some of the on-field commentary is legendary. Loyola trying to knock on the front door, top of 18, but Penn's just going to say thank you, no, take the ball back. Sokolowski will bring it up through midfield, and Penn doing very well in this opening act as far as getting the ball through the field and getting around the Greyhounds early. And then no sooner do I say that, and they commit the foul, and we'll go back the other way for Loyola as we're under 23 minutes left to go here in the first half. Again, Penn 5 shots. Loyola yet to put one to the board as they try to work the inside right now. Right back out to midfield, the right foot of the Quaker back line.
Rudy's son, Riley, college soccer coach at my old stomping ground, Rider University's assistant coach there.
You see, you made mention as far as how long I've been here.
Yeah.
The fact that people that I've worked with for years, now their kids are doing the family business per se. And it's
what kind of dad would let their son go into coaching, though, after being a head coach themselves?
Well, I mean, if he reaches out to me, I think I still got some Rudy Fuller clips that he's more than welcome to take a look at here. Here's what to do, and here's what you may want to think about. But watching Rudy, you talked about the teams kind of, I'll just say John with the referees.
Yeah.
That's where Rudy was phenomenal.
Yeah, great coach, great person. A great career here. Four NCAA tournaments. I may be shorting him one, but
Penn working back up and trying to work forward. Patty, left foot to the middle. A little contact, still working the outside. Howard, and he's got to curl off, favor of a better play. But again, the build-up here is what Penn's really doing well so far.
Yeah. That counter was a little slower than probably they drew it up to be. Maybe didn't have anything on, so to bring it back out.
And try to set it up again. David Howard takes it.
We talked about those five key losses, and we're probably missing a few other seniors that Penn lost from last year, but no one's feeling sorry for them.
But there again, too, they had 4 great years here in University City. You walk out of here with an Ivy League degree in whatever your major may happen to be. Yeah, you joked around a little bit as far as the Wharton School, world-renowned as far as the education, and a lot of these student athletes go through the Wharton School. So Yeah, it's kind of like going back to something you said last night during the women's broadcast when you talked about the transfer portal and not so much interaction, I'll say, with the Ivy League, because you have players that for whatever reason they have a chance for an additional year, but because of their education, they already have employment set up.
Yeah.
Sometimes days, if not barely a week after they graduate. So
Yeah.
that ball forward and the flag goes up. And we're under 20 minutes.
Well, essentially what I was saying was no one was feeling sorry for them, as no one was feeling sorry for the Penn program. And clearly they have a lot of respect within the Ivy League coaching community, because they were picked as preseason favorites, Princeton being second.
Michael Howard will come out, and coming in, Marco Botín will make his first appearance for the Red and Blue from Hermosa Beach, California. He gets his first minutes on the pitch in University City.
We have a stockpile of subs ready to come
Loyola.
in for Loyola.
Practically a line change.
5. And Steve Nichols did tell us before the match that they are going to go deep. They're going to have a very deep team. Missing a couple of key starters. Dutch Ivorone.
Penn with it, back through the middle.
Matthew Takawira also on the injured list for tonight. We've talked about this before.
Trying for a little chip in the middle. Loyola with some space, trying to work. Here's Nichols. Richie Nichols trying to poke one through, but Penn's back line just builds a wall for him.
That was absolutely textbook counterattack defense. What I saw from there was the 4 players dropped, and so it's a tactic that you use instead of somebody stepping up to the ball, which leaves a gap, and you leave behind some good defending space. All 4 dropped, and the rule is drop to the top of the D, and then step up when the opponent is in shooting distance. They gave Charlie Nichols really no options to play the ball through. It's really good counterattack defense.
As you see the subs for Loyola set to come in when the opportunity permits. We'll get their replacements as soon as we have it.
Yeah, and so now, in pre-conference, there's so many things that these head coaches have to be addressing, so many things they have to deal with. And one is just managing minutes. And
Dawson turns one back up. Nicely done. Good slide, good follow through. Penn keeps it. Dahlen through traffic, crossing over to the right side. Now in the middle. Little give and go. Patty, the cross, the touch, and Penn is on the board here in the first half. What a nice play. What a nice follow through. And Romeo Dahlen gets the first scratch to the board for the 2025 campaign.
Yeah, this is a really good transition moment in here. Ball played in from that low area that we talked about, and Dahlen in a really good spot. From the Loyola standpoint, something that came back to bite them a little bit is again, just allowing those balls to be played into the box. A very good transition moment for the Penn Quakers. And they go ahead 1-0.
Last year, Dahlen had 1 goal. He's already equaled that in opening night. His first goal of the season. 16:42 left to go in the half. And the Quakers have the advantage.
Yeah, and so one thing that when we go back at halftime and we take another look at this goal, Dan, you're also going to see one of the things that Penn did well is lots of guys in the box. And I really thought Loyola had that defended away. I was really just about ready to return the compliment. as how good I thought that their transition defense was on that play. And then Penn was able to break them down with that low block cross.
And the way they were setting up a lot of their attacks, I thought for sure they're going to come right through the front door. But they, get something around the side from the Garden, get it across, and Dahlen right there to touch it home to give Penn the lead so far. And again, just under 16 minutes, still plenty of time, plenty of soccer to play.
Well, yeah, and then, again, we talk about the things that go on during the course of a soccer season. In our sport, there's such a tight margin for error, such a tight margin between victory and defeat. And when you lose, the prolific goal scorer like Stas Korzeniowski and an attacking piece like Ben Doe, there's going to have to be a lot of different guys that are going to contribute. So you may not see the gaudy statistics that Korzeniowski put up from one of the Penn players. And the scoring is going to have to be very balanced.
Penn with the ball back. Nice touch, but nobody there to take. Loyola back the other way, Nichols. Passing off. Eddie Smith came into the game. Nichols again, sweeps out to the left side. Penn's defense nicely back to the middle.
That's very good defense there by a name we haven't called out too often tonight, Oliver Pratt.
Sokolowski. He's not going to get much on the wing. He's got Sully in help. Not much there, so they bring it back. Connor Dawson.
Again, we talk about what the coaches have to manage in the pre-conference. Both of these coaches did a really good job with their pre-conference scheduling. And that's such an important piece of having a successful program. It's, the things that don't require coaching talents that are really important for a coach: recruiting, community and alumni relations, and scheduling. And we talked about this last night in the women's games. And, nowadays all coaches want to have 3 days rest. This is what sports science is telling us that we need in between.
Ball through the middle, a chance here for Loyola. But right there to take it away, Malachi Neal gets in the path. But Loyola still trying to fight through the possession near the end line. And Penn's going to bring it out. Good work by the Quaker defense.
That's a great spot by Dahlen. A great spot to get in for a pass that breaks the lines. A great outlet.
Good follow through, but Penn still keeps it. Herbert. Sully. Sully against David Williams. Penn keeps it.
Credit was given by me to Dahlen. That was actually Marco Bertain that was in a really good spot to take that pass out of the back on that last play.
Dahlen looking for the ball there, not finding too much, but trying to control here. In all kinds of traffic, and a foul called by the man in the middle. So here's a set piece opportunity for the Quakers. A better part of 10 yards away from the box. Let's take a look. Comes through. Trying to get through, the contact, the hold, the shove, and the whistle.
Yeah, a very critical moment coming up here. Statistics will tell you that the fewer times you foul in the back, the fewer times you give away the ball in the back, the fewer times that you get beat to the first touch on a ball played into the back, the fewer goals you're going to concede.
Left foot chipper inside, looking for the header in the far post. Unable to connect. Loyola steers it away for the corner kick. Penn will try it again, their second corner of the evening.
Again, a very big moment in this match. Penn's able to convert here to be able to go up 2-0.
From the left side, long kick. Ooh. He really found the sweet spot on that and launched it to the other side.
A little bit too much caffeine on that one. Yeah, I don't think that was the intent. I don't think that was the intended target.
Loyola trying to press forward with Penn right there. Once again, here's Sullivan.
Jeremiah has been really solid. Multiple touches, been in great spots, getting around the field. And again, it's that workman-like midfield that you very often see in the Ivy League. I mean, what characteristic of an Ivy League player is a guy that doesn't take a lot of mental breaks when the play turns over. A player that can stay with the game in terms of alertness for long stretches at a time, and also is willing to do a lot of dirty work, a lot of dirty running off the ball.
Eddie Smith taking a minute here. Clock is stopped. He just tweaked something. Looked like he was trying to stretch out a bit. From the throw in, back to live action. First touch Penn, second and third belong to the Quakers as they look to press forward. Good defense. Got tipped a little bit in the middle and up and over us. Whoa, off the roof. And right back down in front. Camera operators up top. Might be ducking for cover.
Kind of remind me of the Ivy League playoffs, the time the cameraman was standing in front of us, blocking our view, and a second later, got conked with the ball.
And Penn men send one over the wall. For those not familiar with it, Riverfields Drive is literally right on the other side of that wall. Past that is Interstate 76. Where that ball landed, I do not know.
Someone's got a souvenir.
Either somebody's got a souvenir. I mean, traffic is flowing, so I don't know what happened there as Penn's making some substitutions. Coming in, as you see on your screen, Tim Shine from Newton, Massachusetts. Jack Ryan Jeremiah will come out. Will Kelly will come in.
Yes, so the Penn staff, Brian Gills, like we were talking about before, managing minutes, and the coaches have to do such a good job with this every year.
You have to be strategic with the substitutions as
Here's
well.
A counter.
Oh, brilliant. Aiden Frick, sophomore from Waukesha, in the contest, did well there. Penn trying to build from this.
Yeah, good.
Here it is again.
Good counterattack defense, especially from Eddie Smith on the Loyola side.
Tyler Flynn helps to get the ball into the middle. Now they're going to swing out to the opposite side. 8:20 remaining in the half. Penn on top by the goal of Romeo Dolan. Loyola trying to level before the break. Inside, and able to get down and cover. David Howard make sure it's taken care of.
This might be his first touch of the match.
No, he had one earlier, so I mean, he's.
Yeah, on that last sequence, you saw that long diagonal switch from Jordy Lucas. I think that's going to be a little bit more effective, and I think that's going to be maybe a tactic that Steve Nichols looks to bring in the second half.
Back from midfield, Penn's going to switch the view. Now ball up towards the corner. Got deflected in front. Loyola's defense is trying to get it back through midfield.
Good defending, considering that Smith was faced in the opposite direction. He did a nice job to get the first touch on that ball.
Sokolowski, Sully with a little bit of an exchange. Sullivan now to the middle. Sokolowski launches one up and over. Good idea. A little too much underneath of it. Be a goal kick for Loyola. A little over 6.5.
Yeah, so then, when we talk about every year, there's, not just in college soccer, but obviously in professional soccer, there's more and more advancements in the sports science, just in terms of the GPS monitors. Coaches have to check with their conditioning coaches, and, not only do they have to, to keep track of the data they get in terms of, miles covered, but they have to keep track of high-intensity sprints. And all these things factor in and are really important as we're here in August. If you're overworking a player, if you're overtraining a player in August, if you're giving them too much to run, too much area to cover, too many high-intensity sprints, you're going to find that it manifests itself with a hamstring pull, maybe a groin pull, not in August, but in October, when you most need those players. So there's a real skill and there's a real science and an art just in terms of managing minutes for a short season of college soccer.
Of course, you want to, every team coming in, they want to have their season go well into November. Make the NCAA tournament, but right now, going to take care of business on the front end as the Greyhounds working the left side of 18.
Yeah.
Good header away by the red and blue.
Yeah, and you're right. That is the art of coaching, is getting your team to peak at the right time.
Foul's going to get called here.
That's got to be a card.
And we'll see if Mr. Komorowski will reach for the book. Right now, no.
It is Baltimore against Philly, after all, right? Two cities with great deep
grit.
heritage.
Yes,
but great grit,
character.
of course, great grit, but also great soccer heritage and tradition.
Ball comes back up through the middle, a little more than 4 minutes and change left to play. Penn trying to get two. Left side, left foot, blocked in front. Cleared away by the Greyhounds, but the Quakers almost get it back. Handball is called. Not sure if that was against either Flynn or Williams. The way it pinballed around in there, but nonetheless, another set-piece opportunity for the Quakers. The Rhodes Field faithful supporters chanting, "Let's go Penn."
Yeah, now I'd like to see O'Keefe up a little bit higher on this free kick. With his 6'6" frame, if he gets up a little bit higher, he just makes that ball even more difficult to drop into the perfect spot.
Well, it comes in, but the header right down to the awaiting gloves of Connor O'Keefe. Comes out to the top of 18, doesn't find much of what he likes. He's trying to get everybody forward a little bit more. And he'll opt for the throw to the left side. Good ball forward by Lukes. And a foul called. Now a set-piece opportunity for the Greyhounds.
That's good build-up by Loyola.
Let's take a look at it again. Like you said, Coach, good build-up. Trying to get the turn, the foul right there. Herbert. Richie Nichols. And looks like Lukes will set this one up. From the whistle, straight in, up and over. Nichols got a little too much underneath of it, and the ball lands on the roof.
Well, it's going to be 2 minutes before halftime, obviously both coaches and coaching staffs are already pre-thinking about what they're going to be doing at halftime. What kind of adjustments are they going to be making? It's going to be interesting to see what Loyola comes out with in the second half. Perhaps a formation shift, perhaps maybe a little bit more emphasis on pressing. Penn's had the lion's share of the ball here, lion's share of the opportunities.
9 shots in the first half.
Yeah, but this coaching staff from Loyola has been around for a long time. Going to be interesting to see what they come up with going into the locker room for the second half.
Penn with the ball after a little contact on both sides, trying to pass through the circle. 73 seconds remaining. Once again, Penn's going to change things up and bring it close to us. Sullivan. Final minute being called off. Sully with the left foot. Couldn't get it into the middle too much.
Yeah,
ball
good.
Out of bounds to be a throw. Good idea.
Good idea by Sullivan again, but we use that term overhit. You've got to overhit that ball. It's better to overhit than to underhit it on that ball played behind the defense.
Sullivan will take the throw in just the other side of Loyola's bench. Sends one forward into the middle. First touch Penn, second and third belong to the Quakers.
That's quite a heave by Mr. Sullivan.
That was a very nice throw. This one out of bounds on the far side, 13 seconds. Ollie brings it back in. Quakers trying to move. The final 10 counted down.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
And 45 minutes are in the book, and the Quakers are on top, 1-0.
I think is the mentality of how you go after your players or the mentality that you instill in them. This is far from over.
Oh, far from over indeed, as Penn looks to continue what they were doing in the first act. This one gets sent towards the corner, but a little too strong, and it goes out of bounds. Throw-in. Tuck in just this side of the flag. Yes, it did.
I also learned that Adam Thacker is the worst singer on the Penn team, according to that video. Poor guy.
You see the video, and they also have, during the breaks, you'll hear it as well.
Oh.
The production crew was asking me about a karaoke night. I was like, I don't think we want to do that.
Poor guy took a beating at halftime.
Yeah,
from his teammates, but they seem to really like him.
As we come back to the middle part of the field, trying to clear, and it came up and caught Michael Ojebi right in the face. Here's a dangerous ball here, but unfortunately too deep, and they put one on the roof.
Yeah, interesting ball by Sullivan. You tell he's got a very strong foot. Was able to play that ball in behind. And that long
clock stopped.
Long ball is very often effective as just a way of just trying to mix things up a little bit.
Ajagbe is getting some attention from the training staff, so the clock stopped. 43-44 on the clock here at Rhodes Field. And they'll bring in a substitution, so quickly off the bench, Nick Totoro will check in. On your screen right now, freshman from Howell, New Jersey.
And this, if you're a soccer player, is the perfect night to be playing.
Oh, this is indeed.
This has got a little bit
cool
of
enough,
fall
just,
feel to
I
you.
mean, coach is breaking out the jacket already. For me, this is comfortable beyond belief. And nice breeze. No bad weather. Great weekend. For any holiday plans, any weekend plans, the unofficial end of summer as we get into the fall seasons here in University City.
Feels like football and soccer season.
Aren't they the same thing? Penn with the ball right here in front of us. Patty Kayali brings it back, and The Quakers will try to change the field up a little. Down towards the flag. Pratt. That one gets tipped and up and over the Penn bench. Jagby still getting attention in front of us.
Yeah, right now, if you're Loyola, again, no need to panic. Stay disciplined. They seem to be taking up a defensive posture, a little bit more structured than in the first half.
Out to the right side, bending across the top of 18. Loyola gets a foot through, a dive in. Play on, says the referee, and Mr. O'Keefe gets the arms extended, pushes it over the crossbar for another corner kick for the Quakers. Check it out.
Yeah.
Good ball to the right. Nice service. There's one. Comes back out.
Yeah, and I thought originally that I
was waiting for a whistle there. Yes.
Yeah. Just a hard challenge by Jack Ryan Jeremiah, who's been very solid.
Very solid indeed. Now go from the corner from the right-hand side. Line drive in, loose around, and it gets into the back of the net. Penn's on top, 2-0. Jack Wagner gets his first goal of the season, and the Quakers' second of the evening.
Opportunistic goal for the Quakers, and one I think if you're Loyola, you'd like to have back.
Good ball.
It's often we have that player in front of the goalkeeper. There's two different thoughts on that. Do we put somebody in front of him, or do we allow the goalkeeper to just deal with him? If the goalkeeper is supposed to deal with him, then he's got to beat him to that ball.
Patty Kayeli gets credit for the assist. Jack Wagner again had one goal last season. He's already got that tonight, but a little more of a cushion for the Quakers. And we'll see what it does.
Yeah, and these are going to be learning situations for the Greyhounds when they go back and watch film. What set that goal up was just they got beat to the ball, just out hustled to the ball, and again, on those plays, you either put a person in front of that attacking player that's guarding the goalkeeper, or you allow the goalkeeper to guard him. And if the goalkeeper is going to be guarding him, he's got to beat him to the ball.
Oliver Pratt
Having said
putting
that,
his
give
body
credit.
on the line as Loyola trying to put some pressure left side of 18. Now from the left, good step through. Ollie better with the boot. Right foot line drive midfield.
Now the psychology of the score changes the game a little bit now. So, it's only human nature when you get a 2-goal lead. Just maybe take a little bit of your foot off the gas. Maybe all the little things that made Penn a very good team in the first half, maybe they subconsciously stop doing it. And it's very difficult. This game's been played for a long time, and no one's been able to figure out how to deal with a 2-0 lead.
Looks like Jagby may be coming back in. Penn with the ball, looking far right. Wagner on a run. Kayeli back to the middle.
So you're the Quakers, you just keep doing what you've been doing. Go for number 3. Try to go for that knockout punch.
As this one goes out, brilliant work by Loyola's defense to keep it for a goal kick opportunity for them to bring the ball back through the middle. And coming back in will be Mr. Jogby.
Yes, and the mystique, if you will, of the 2-0 lead, it's very puzzling a lot of times in a soccer match because really all Loyola needs is just a breakout moment here and they're right back into the game. They've got to keep believing, maybe go a little bit more route one, a little bit more direct.
Well, and like you said, too, we commented on a couple of occasions in the first 45 minutes, Penn's defense just dropping into the right spot precisely. Nice ball by Oliver. Ollie almost got it back in, but unfortunately crossing the line, it'll be a Loyola throw-in right in front of the Penn coaches. Yeah, back up. Take a look. Ollie just ran out of real estate. So we come back into the middle with Jogby.
Yeah, and then what I find interesting is how many times when we talk about the back four for the Penn Quakers, we're going to Malachi Neal, Connor Dawson as the center backs, Owen Sullivan as the left back, Oliver Pratt as the right back. How many times have we called their name tonight in defensive moments?
In defensive moments, not as much.
I don't think we've mentioned Connor Dawson once. No. And to me, that's an indicator that the players ahead of them are doing their job. The players ahead of them, this three-pronged midfield that they have, their job is to protect the back four, and they've done it because the back four's had very few defensive moments in the match tonight. And again, David Howard, we've hardly called his name except in the beginning of the match to say he was starting his first match of his career. It's just a sign of a good, 11 players playing together and being on the same page, and pretty impressive for their first match against a good squad.
Yeah, you don't really know what to expect. Sometimes the flag goes up off sides. First match of the season, yes, you can do so much in practice. You can do so much in friendlies. But when it comes time for everything to go, it could be a whole different ball game. As Mr. Howard brings this one all the way through midfield. And Loyola is going to try to set up something a little more favorable to their liking. And they'll go to the right side.
Yeah, I'd like to see him try to get something in behind. Just maybe test those backs. Because right now the play is, in front of the Penn back four all the time. The defenders haven't really had to turn and recover and find players and do all the difficult things that defenders have to do, especially find players in the box. And they haven't had to do that yet. So that's going to be Loyola's challenge.
Well, a chance right here for the set pieces. The foul called against Penn. Mr. Komorowski telling the boys exercise a moment of pause on their own. On the kick, comes down low. First touch, Penn. Second to the visitors, trying to turn out to the wing. Good dispossess, good ball movement. Trying to lead up the left flank. Ball forward, but nobody there to support it, and they'll just let it go out of bounds for the goal kick.
Still, that good defending leads into a good transition counterattack moment for Penn, which has been on an awful lot, a lot of times this evening. Then were you surprised to see that Penn was picked number 1 in the preseason poll?
Nah, not really. Again, knowing the supporting cast, what they were bringing back. It's a lot of shoes to fill, as we said, coming out of halftime, but nothing that would constitute a rebuild or a retool. But also as well, regardless of what the preseason media poll will say, we'll start finding out as far as the Ivy League when the Quakers get into it at Columbia on the 28th of September is their first Ivy League match, that on the road. And then they'll play Harvard here on October 4th to start Ancient 8 play. Right now they still have their visitors from Baltimore to 10-2. Ollie charging in and sent back away. It'll be a throw-in.
Very good turn and very good ball played behind the defense by Patrick Caielli. Yeah, interesting, because the team that's picked second behind the Quakers and the team they lost to in the Ivy League final this year, Princeton, they don't play until November 8th, I believe. And that's right here at Rhodes
correct.
Field.
In fact, they end the regular season here with Princeton. So even just based on the preseason media poll, that game is already slated to be one you circle on your calendar and you know it's going to be a good one. Referees asked for the clock to be stopped with 32 minutes even, as I think the boys are a little squirrely inside of 18 and goes out of bounds. It'll be a goal kick for the visitors.
You and the aforementioned Rudy Fuller will be on the call that day, and I will give you a little trivia about Rudy Fuller and Princeton. Jim Barlow, Princeton University's coach, is actually godfather to one of Rudy's kids. How about that?
I did not know that.
You didn't know that.
I did not know that. And if Rudy's watching, I can hear him laughing right now.
Rudy's up in Vermont somewhere on the lake. He's just enjoying life. Yeah, he and Jim are old friends. I think Rudy was his assistant at American. Something like that. Something like that. So it's been too long.
I'd have to look it
it's
up.
Been
It's
too
been too long.
It's been too long. Yeah. They're very good friends, and I know a lot of respect. You see that a lot in this league. That while it's a very intense rivalry across the board in this league, in the Ivy League, you see it a lot. There's some great friendships, some great relationships, which doesn't always happen in every league.
No, and I've seen that. Maybe a dangerous. Oh, nice work to keep it. Pratt sends Caielli. Caielli gets a bump, but the momentum carries through. It'll be a goal kick.
Yeah, and not the most advised ball by Neal out of the back there. Brian Gill's telling him that. And again, when you talk about those moments that could just change things around when it looks like it's going all in one direction, and in the direction of Penn, just little moments like that could just change the game. Flip it on a dime.
Well, and you and I both know, Coach, that one unlucky bounce here or there can change everything in a heartbeat.
Absolutely, and when we're talking about Ivy League soccer, one of the things I love about it is that they are not impacted by the transfer portal. And, you can really develop a 4-year relationship with a player. You can really watch them grow, as a player, as a person. You have the opportunity like Penn has, like Princeton has, all the great teams in the Ivy League where they can develop connections among players year after year. For the other schools,
could be difficult.
It's close to impossible, actually, to develop that kind You can't do that in a 2.5 month period. And so you do your best to try to win and using any tactics that are fair.
Loyola again trying to work their way to the middle, but the back line of the Quakers just steadfast with their presence and keeping the ball in their favor, and a foul gets called. And the substitutes coming in for the Quakers. Tim Shine will come out. Eric Sokolowski will come back in.
Penn doing a really good job in making, you know what they say, making the field narrow, or making their shape very narrow, and really concentrating on the central part of the field where most goals are scored on. And really, they've been really difficult to break down tonight.
Off the restart, ball back towards the middle. Left foot, but that's wide right.
You know, again, as we look at the pre-conference schedules for both of these teams, both coaches have done really, really good job. And you know what I like about watching both of their schedules is there's not a lot of travel. And I think that's an important factor to consider when you're a college coach and you've got to deal with kids, young people, young players, injuries, academics. You know,
it's a lot to balance.
The more things that you can reduce for them, I think the more it benefits you, and that kind of planning, strategic planning, really manifests itself towards the end of the season, where you see the good teams aren't burnt out.
Well, and for Loyola, I mean, this is the first of a 3-game road trip.
Right.
There'll be at Delaware than Iona coming up, and for the Quakers, a quick hello here and then at Seton Hall, also at Delaware. Then they're back home on the 12th against VCU. That'll be the start of a 4-game homestand here to start 2025.
You and I are in the VCU game. I look forward to that. It's a quality opponent.
This ball towards the middle, but nobody there to collect it. Quakers pick it back up, and they'll switch sides, and the referees called a foul. That one on David Williams.
Yeah, and that Seton Hall match will be a good. That'll be a good test for Penn. Again, not too much to travel. A team that's had a few matches underneath the belt. A very difficult team to break down. Those are the kind of games I think in pre-conference you want these games that are going to be like 1-goal games, games that are maybe you don't want to end in a draw, but you want tightly contested matches. And I'm not sure. While I think there is value in going into play in the superpowers, very often you've got to go on the road when you play the superpowers, and you're also forced to kind of relinquish the ball, put possession of the ball. A game that's a little bit more back and forth, a little bit more contested in pre-conference, I think in the end serves you better as the season progresses.
Yeah, we'll see. Right now, there's still just under 25 minutes left in this match. Penn on top by 2 as they have the ball working the far side near the supporters here at Rhodes Field. Opening night of the 2025 campaign.
Yeah, there's just no place for Loyola to play the ball.
Yeah,
I mean, the only way they're going to play it, the only place they can play it is over the top.
over the top, but as we've been complimenting Penn's defense, just right there, as you see now, they're switching fields, trying to find any kind of a lane.
Yeah.
They get a bit of one, but then 2 or 3 Quakers pop up, take care of it. Here's an opportunity here, maybe developing. Chip shot middle, but there again, Penn's right there with the touch.
Yeah. 7 guys back in the box, keeping that space defended well.
And the foul called, maybe a little delayed. Referee asked for the clock to be stopped, and the referee's going to have a little talk.
Yeah, Dan,
and a yellow card.
Yeah, Dan, the reason why there's no space in there, again, it's the discipline of the midfielders that are running at all times. They're doing a lot of thankless running to close down the space. They're sealing off all the forward balls that can be played. And again, all that thankless running is doing a great job in just protecting the back four.
Take a look at the yellow card. Number 22, David Williams. Referee letting, I guess, the advantage develop, if any, but nonetheless. But also as well, Penn going to the bench. Romeo Dowling, the goal scorer in the first half, he'll come in. Jack Wagner will have a seat. Loyola will also be bringing in substitutes. Eddie Smith will be coming back in. In addition to Nick Turturro, ball out of bounds. See, this is what I like about Rob Komorowski. There was a question. Nope, bounced up, came off the leg. Here we go. Short, sweet. Principles of public speaking. Be brief, be precise, and let us move on.
Officials have done a solid job tonight.
Oh, yeah. Brian Gill, Matt Poplowski.
What I like about it is, what I like about it, and the thing that kind of aggravates coaches is, too many delays, too many talking to of the players. Guys that don't get on with the game a little bit. When the match is over, you have a hard time even remembering who was in the center if it's done correctly.
Now, as I tell people all the time, it's all about the presentation. All right, now the presentation has been good from the officiating. This ball across, up and over, and off the wall.
Well, it's also your demeanor, the way that you speak to players. Now, how someone
you may be opening a can of worms with this with me.
I know, but how someone is able to officiate a soccer match is beyond my comprehension.
Yeah.
Because just the amount of heat they have to take from the fans, from the players, from the coaches.
But this is also something that is not new. I mean, we could go through some more famous officials.
Yeah.
Some handled it well. Some you knew that the field they commanded the field the right way. Yeah. And some you might have had a question or two.
Yeah. But we need to appreciate it, and we need to show respect towards our officials, because we're losing officials.
Yeah, it is.
And it's a hard, you talk to you talk to veteran assigners, and you talk to people that have been around the game very often.
Here's a chance for Loyola, left side. Going to try to set something up, but again, Penn's defense drops in near post, cuts off the lane. David Howard just had to be ready for it. Loyola's going to try again, and Penn will do the same thing. You just turn it away.
Yeah, it's the little things. It's the blocking of shots. It's the blocking of crosses. The compactness of your defense. But getting back to, the future and the state of officiating, we need these young guys and girls taking interest, showing interest in the sport, because it's just, if we're going to continue to grow, it's not just player development. It's referee development.
And you know, as most, how should we say, air quotes, even though you can't see us, talking to the official is part of the game as this ball comes across. Inside, Howard gets up, punches it away. Some contact play on, says the referee. And that one comes back to the middle.
A rare occasion when you see a ball that's played into the box from the flank against Penn tonight.
Howard, though, did well coming off his line, making the decision to punch the ball away, does so effectively. Loyola getting the ball back, trying to build up a little bit of momentum. Nice ball through the middle. That one gets tipped. Play on, says the referee again, and understanding the no call and the corner. See, and as we say, here's Coach with the fourth official. The fourth official is the one that I really feel bad for.
Yeah.
Yeah, you said tonight, David Allen has the honors. He's the one that, regardless, either official is going to, either coach is going to go to them first because they're the proximity. Here's a chance here. That one, again, gets deflected off to the outside. Loyola, a little pep in her step in these for last couple of minutes.
Yeah, the last few moments downfield. This is why when we talk about how difficult it is to play with that 2-goal lead. Of course, you'd rather have the 2-goal lead than not. But it's a lot of times it's just human nature that you have a letdown, you have a breakdown. We saw that a little bit. We saw Loyola putting a little bit more effort in terms of piecing things together.
And here's where the Greyhounds definitely need to keep their foot on the gas. Pressing the ball in, left side of the box. Chip up and over, far side, still in front, bouncing around. Penn's defense can't clear. They block there, sending it away. Here's where Penn has got to get the ball back in the other side of the field to let the defense reset. Bouncing ball, and Mr. Howard will say, I've had enough of this. Thank you very much. Let's everyone breathe.
Yeah, but then again, block shots, compactness in the central part of the field is what keeps teams off the scoreboard.
Now here's Penn's offense working the left side. Loyola's defense able to drop down, a little contact, a little bump and run. Oh, foul called against Loyola.
Yeah, and I think one of the factors, that's not indicated by a stat or scoreboard statistic tonight is I just think Penn has done more running in this match. I think they've just done more thankless running to get back behind the ball, and again running in defensive transition. I think they've done a very good job of that, and that's a sign of a very good team.
Sign of a good team indeed, and off of the set piece, ball in, headed out Loyola. Second touch Penn trying to control. Through the middle, but they got to press forward, picked off by the Quakers. Jack Ryan Jeremiah looking around for some help, gets it in Sokolowski. Sokolowski now has JR heading towards the corner. He's got Ollie coming in help, trying to make the turn along the line. Still dancing with it, Pratt. Now chipper back forward. Sokolowski keeps it in, bends the ball in, crossing, deflected once. Put back shot! Finds the back of the net, and that's the third one.
Got it.
Looks like Patty Kieli sends it home for the third goal of the evening.
There's the long ball played down the flank into space. That's Sokolowski with a nice ball into the box, but this is a difficult
Patty
chance.
sets right in. His leg placement, his knee placement. And right there, Patty Kieli getting the third goal of the evening for the Quakers and his first of the season. 15:41 left to go as Loyola's going to make some substitution. Tyler Tucker coming in, as well as Ben Schouten. Richie Nichols will have a seat, as well as Luca Chen. So Penn pretty much sealing the deal for the win tonight. See what they can do in the next 15 and a half.
Couple of things that come to mind on that one. Dan, I don't know who played the ball to Sokolowski behind the defense that set that up. But it was played in such a way that Sokolowski could turn his hips and face the goal, as we're going to see a card coming up here. But what I really want to compliment is Kayeli on the ability to strike a bouncing ball, which is very difficult for a young player.
And you saw he was off the ground a little bit. Let's take a look at the foul first. I'm sorry, this is the goal. So he comes across, heading trying to get it clear, and you just see the concentration, and you see the boot placement to the ball from Patty Kayeli, able to get the furthest part of his toe out, so he didn't get too much under it.
Penn's a little too deep. Their line's a little bit too deep here.
Off the restart, header, one touch in the air, still bouncing around like a pinball, and right there to control it, David Howard. And as a goalkeeper, you know that inside the box, everything's a pinball machine.
Yep.
You're almost just like not so much reacting to the ball, but the reactions of others around you.
Yeah, and again, we didn't have a great angle on that, but that little pinball action may have been averted or
almost
avoided.
a dangerous ball here. As whoa, look out!
That
Connor
situation,
O'Keefe rockets one towards the Penn bench.
It may have been avoided if Howard had stepped up his line a little bit higher. Of course, they'll see that when they do the replay and when they do film. But getting back to Kayeli's goal, one thing that you tell young players is practice hitting bouncing balls, practice hitting awkward balls. Yep. Don't hit.
Top of 18, working some room. There's a shot low. It stays there, and the putback, and the Quakers make it number 4. Romeo Dallin gets his second rip to the back of the net to seal the deal for the evening. Good work in, little loss. Dallin comes right in, the left foot, sends it home. Romeo Dallin, number 2 on the night in the season. Still a little under 14 minutes left to play.
But it's been a good opener for Dallin. May have to be our man of the match. Although
I would venture a guess.
I would have been pushing for J.R. Ryan before that. But what Dallin is a poacher. He's just right on top of that rebound. He's poaching in that rebound, and then on the first goal, just good goalkeepers get in, good goal scorers get into good spots.
Ball out of bounds on the right-hand side.
So a good learning experience for Loyola here. They come up 95 to play you might say very much a veteran Penn team, and they're going to take these experiences and they're going to take some of the things they didn't do well, and just try to improve step by step, and they get ready for that Patriot League, which is again top to bottom one of the toughest conferences in the country.
Indeed, and right now they're trying to work their way through the middle. And the Quakers trying to press forward a little bit. Last year we saw Penn get that 1-0 win over then number 3 Pittsburgh. Then they turned around and defeated Temple 4-0. Play on, says the referee here. That ball goes off to the right. Clock stopped with 11:38. Referee getting things squared away. Jack Endicott having a word for the 4th official. 11:30 remaining.
So now, as coaches, you've got decisions to make. And,
Yeah.
and your decision for Brian Gill, do you take the guy out?
Not yet.
You take some guys out.
Ball across, headed away by Penn. Again, the opportunity, but the Quakers are right there, but not able to clear. Still working this left side. Play on, says the referee. As the Greyhound a little slow to get up. Kaeli.
Here's what you fear as a coach. You got a 4-0 lead. What if you lose one of your key guys to a prolonged injury? Because coaches are
We've been
all
saying about it all night as far as the science and the medicine as Kaeli works his way through the midfield.
Yeah, it's the science, it's the medicine, it's the feel for the game. Coaches are all a little bit neurotic, and we don't forgive ourselves very often. And just a situation, if you lose a key player with a big lead, was it worth it?
Right now, Loyola with substitutes set to come in. Penn just controlling the possession.
Yeah, and that's all they need to do. Just keep the ball right where it is and just keep playing it around. Try to pull Loyola's defense out a little bit, but there's really no need to.
This ball across the field will go out of bounds, and this will be a throw in for Loyola, and the referee will bring in the substitutes.
Yeah, there's no urgency for Penn at this point. Just making sure that you're smart. And
you see the substitutes on your screen. Some contact. There was a whistle, albeit a weak one. I think. So foul against the Quakers. Loyola will have the restart right in front of their bench. A little over 8 minutes remaining. Straight ball in. First touch Penn. Goes over everybody else. Loyola collects right side. Bending ball back inside the box. Header up in the air. Out to 18. Little pinball. Still settling. Loyola trying to pick a pocket. Gets blocked. And we may be off to the races, but coming back in, Tyler Tucker to settle things. And oh, good shot put off, but just went off to the left-hand side. Romeo Dolan trying for that hat trick.
Great recovery, great effort by Meminger and Tucker.
Like I said, they just tracked him down. Dolan, right idea, just maybe a little bit off with the placement. And wholesale substitutions for the Quakers. And like you said, 7:20.
Here we go.
They're literally bringing in a whole new team.
Yeah.
So everybody getting into the act, including some of the freshmen, getting their first minutes as the Quakers looking just to take care of things.
Yeah, that makes for a happy team, Dan. You know, these guys are working just as hard as the starters every day, and you have to be happy for our fellow David Howard. He's worked every day for 4 years.
Ball across, that one shoots back behind the net. 7 minutes remaining, and it's good. Like I said, not only for the team, because now you have players getting some early minutes.
Yeah.
Getting some minutes early in the season, excuse me. It's good for the starters because they'll get the proper rest and full rehab. And again, they've got some time before their next match, but it just literally gets everybody out, including Mataskevich. Lincoln Mataskevich is in the ball game, as well as Kalani Kunamara for the Quakers.
Yeah, everybody's happy when they play. And again, going back to Howard, this is a guy he's had to root for the starting, and he's had to root for several starting goalkeepers that played in front of him. He's had to keep them sharp. He's had to challenge them. He's had to be their friend. And now he gets his turn. In the spotlight, and happy for him.
Very happy for him indeed.
Playing with his younger brother.
And the foul call, it's going to go back the other way as that ball went up in the air. I don't know where it went. Back behind the Penn bench. So the free kick will be offered. Ben Schouten will take it right here near us. Brandon Meminger off to his right. The wall set up top of 18. Ball going far post. David Howard comes out, gets the first touch. The second one bounces around. Howard trying to recover, but it goes wide to the right. Corner kick coming up for Loyola. From the corner kick. There's the whistle, right foot, bending ball, short, bouncing down one, touch two by Penn. Now trying to clear. Working his way up, Pierce Wagner. He goes out of bounds. It'll be a throw in for Loyola.
A lot of newcomers. A lot of new names into the match for Penn.
Nick Catharason in the match as well. That's a pop-up. They come up a little short of us. Theo Otteson getting some action in the middle right here.
And a shout out to
Adam Kuchler.
And a shout out to Theo's mom and dad. When I went to see the Princeton scrimmage last week, I sat next to them. Wonderful people.
Bending ball in. Well, too much to it. Whoa! Connor O'Keefe had to get up there and reel it in. Here Connor calling for his players to go forward, to get up, as we're just about 3 minutes remaining here in this one. This ball forward. Trying to work the outside now. Kickler curls back. Off to the right side, settling. Drop back for Kunamara. Right side of the box again. This one coming across, bouncing around. Foul called against Penn. It'll be a free kick with 2:15 remaining. Ball forward. Good work by Otteson to the cheer of the Penn bench. Off to the right side, 1 minute remaining.
Last minute of play in our second half.
Still working the left side.
So I don't know about you, Dan. I'm not sure I saw this coming. I'm not, just to talk about the score, but really the dominance of the game, from the outset.
Was not on my bingo card.
Yeah. If you're on the Penn Quaker side, you're gonna be very happy with the first result that you had here tonight.
I'm trying to look back, and I cannot find a win going back to the 1980s when, here we go. So Penn comes away with the 4-0 win. Last time they had a significant amount of goals scored.